Hello. Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants. Welcome back to Code Vein in the Road to 100, where today we're going to be... Yes, thanks, Jack. We're going to be starting the 47-star run, as you can see here, and we're going to be running some really bizarre, strange, wacky things in this run to kind of show you some of the more diverse and more widely unknown kind of sets and how they pair together. So we're going to go for Shockweb and Precision and Impact Wave to hopefully and at certain times get enemies focused or get them staggered or knocked down in such a way. And then we're going to be running Frenzied Fire to remove their focus gauge, so that way we can get them back to a position where we can get them staggered. Now we're going to be running Quick Mobility here on both weapons, and you're going to see that the Hellfire Hammer and the Machete both do exceptionally well with Impact Wave, although the Hellfire Hammer is going to do much better with it, but you can definitely run the Machete for it, and you can actually get some pretty crazy stuff. Now, as your one active gift here, you can go for Severing Abyss or Steadfast Strike, depending on which weapon you actually have active, but as we get up and running here, you will see that we have very high damage at 1812, very high drain rating at 0.7, and for the Hellfire Hammer we're at 1.07 on our drain, and we're at 1923 on our damage, so very good overall there, and we're able to do some exceptionally good things here and exceptionally fast things as well. So as we get up and running, we will go for a couple of backstabs here at the beginning just to get our I-core up and running here. And this attack right here, when it strikes the ground, it mixes with Impact Wave, and you can see there that we do indeed get the impact wave damage, and we get the stagger from it as well. So kind of a weird attack pattern overall here for sure. And we can go for Shockweb and get these guys to stagger, and then we can do more of these overheads and kind of put these guys into a strange predicament here, where they have a really hard time doing anything, because most of the time they're actually staggered with what they're doing. Okay, and we do get really good I-core recovery, while at the same time having very good damage and stagger potential. So let's see what this looks like now with the Hellfire Hammer. Obviously we're going to get knockdowns much more often because we're running the hammer. Okay, we'll go for Steadfast Strike here, and here we can go for Shockweb and go for a little bit of delay here on this fella. Oops, almost hit him with Frenzied Fire there, but Frenzied Fire is dependent on which enemy you're going for, because it doesn't operate the same for every enemy, and whoops. It's really nice here that we can, so there you see his focus bar was not moved very much at all, because he had his shield up and blocking. Whoops. There we go. And we can send guys flying with precision, and at the same time we can go for things like Shockweb at different points, and that was a pointless place to go for, you know, that kind of an attack with Shockweb there. But Shockweb is a 45% 0.45 multiplier to your dark value. If you're actually going for damage on it, it's just as strong as Sonic Arrow, and it works kind of the same way. It's a physical attack. Okay, and we can go for Slime here. Whoops. Okay, we'll back up here. Oh, we got poisoned. That is a really bad time to get poisoned there. Definitely messed up on him, but that's okay. Let's go for a antidote here. Where are my anti-venoms? Just because that's gonna take forever there to wear off. Alright, good. and let's move on. So Shockweb, as you can see there, it definitely has a nice interaction there with putting enemies back into kind of a weird stagger state. If you hadn't used the machete before, this is definitely one of the more obscure ways to use it, but being quick mobility definitely helps, so on and so forth with what we have active right now. We'll go ahead and heal just because we had some mishaps there, but you can definitely do some really cool stuff with this, and as well as Severing Abyss, because of the fact that that Severing Abyss strikes the ground. It actually works very nicely in tandem with what is that? Impact Wave. Good grief, words are hard. And so that's kind of a really strange, interesting interaction. And if you don't kill the enemy outright, you can at least stagger them and do some crazy ground pounding with it. Okay, and this guy, we'll see here that he's focused now, so we'll go ahead and remove his focus bar, so that way he staggers much easier. And that is where Frenzied Fire kind of comes in clutch, is to do those see his focus. Oh, we missed him there with Frenzied Fire. But that is where Frenzied Fire can come in really helpful, is to do some really good damage on their balance, to make sure that you are able to whoops, missed him. There we go. And you can see that the knockdowns here are very nice. Okay, and he's got balance, and Frenzied Fire is a removal of their balance cap, and so it's very nice that it can go into some really good places for having the enemy remove their balance, and then continue to inflict damage in knockdown sort of ways, rather than going for some of these more interesting attacks. You can just continue going for Impact Wave to get them staggered, while at the same time getting some of these knockdowns. Now, again, the machete is kind of not widely used, but it can be used, and it's a pretty cool weapon overall. And it definitely does have some strange interactions here with how we go about staggering the enemy and such. Okay, so he just went right through that attack there. Okay, we'll go for this. Oh, we're dead, because we definitely didn't do it the right way there. And we can get rid of his focus gauge there. So you can see that the machete, it definitely has some interesting setups here. It's definitely not anything crazy overpowered, because this is actually the beginning of the game, where everything is pretty low health wise versus what we're going for. And so it's kind of almost a misnomer at this point. But you can see here that as we build up this guy's focus gauge here, he's almost focused. He's focused now, and he's almost unfocused because of Frenzied Fire. So that is a really good way to go about getting rid of these guys' focus states, to go for Frenzied Fire, to make sure that you're actually ooh, he's here. To make sure that you're actually doing these guys in a good way here. Okay, so and that's usually the problem, is that when these guys get focused, you definitely don't want to deal with them. But Frenzied Fire has a exceptionally short range. Okay. And you can see there, he's almost focused. So we'll back up here, and we'll go for another knockdown. Very good. All right, and let's go pick up the well-worn tool. And you can see that, I mean, it really isn't, you know, the amount of damage that we're doing. It's the this is like completely built around utility and built around playing into some of the more obscure mechanics of the game with focus and balance and knockdowns. And determining what that point is for your enemy of when you can knock them down and such, it can definitely help you, but if you're going for just all-out flat-out damage to decimate the enemy, that's typically better. But here, since we have the gifts and everything, and we need to go through everything in the road to 100, this is definitely a good way to, I mean, it's a way to pair up here with a weapon to make sure that you're actually getting knockdowns and such to get extra damage out on the enemy. Now here's another kind of thing. You can go for a knockdown into one of your heavy moves. You can do that as well, which is why the hammers here are so good, because you can do these kinds of things and go for knockdowns and such. And these guys don't have really that good of balance, and so you can knock them down really nicely here with hammers and such. Now when we get to Oliver, obviously he doesn't have a focus gauge, so that is really nice that we can stagger him over and over with the machete. And since he has a 0% resist to slash, the machete can do really good things to him overall, just because of that fact. Okay, so then here we'll go ahead and we'll knock this guy down, and you can see that we staggered this guy behind him, and we'll get rid of his focus gauge so we can knock him down again. Okay, and you can see there the impact wave doing some really good work there overall. All right, and here we'll go for shock web here. Ouch. Okay, and these things don't really have balance or anything because they don't stagger. They do put their head up in the air like that a little bit, just to you know, show you that they're actually staggering a little bit. Okay, and we'll keep his focus gauge there very low at 0, so you can knock him down at will, however you wish. And as we get into Oliver, obviously we will be switching here for the machete, getting into photo mode here, which isn't a bad thing by any means. And if you wanted to, I mean, you could switch out Shockweb, right, for Final Journey and stuff, but we'll go ahead and Pure Blood up here so we have everything ready for us at the outset here. And we'll go for all the stamina and all the things to make sure that we have everything going at once here. Very good. So running against Oliver, obviously this will be very bizarre. Let's go for a Shockweb. Get him staggered there a little bit. Oh, okay. And we'll go... Whoop. Okay, Jack, thanks. Okay, there's a stagger. Okay. We'll hit him with that so he doesn't do well there. And Shockweb lasts for 10 seconds. Good job, Jack. You're staggering him like crazy. And Grave Knocker could be a good one here as well to go for this. Whoops, with Jack here. So we'll go ahead and heal and get slammed. Now that is what we need to watch out for here, is that we don't have any defenses versus crush, really. So that's kind of weird, but you know, when you don't have it, you don't have it. Okay. So we'll put down a Shockweb and then go into some overheads here. Now we're focused, so we can stagger much nicer here with our alternate attack here, as you can see there. Okay, we'll get bridge going, we'll get precision going again. Okay, and we'll just continue here with the overheads, a little bit of focus removal there. It doesn't help us with focus, obviously, but what it does help us with is getting Oliver back to that stagger phase. Sorry, Jack. Okay, and let's go for a few more overheads. Oh, we're dead. Oh, we're not dead. Wow. Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and heal up here quite a bit. Okay, we'll go ahead and heal. Alright. And we'll go for a couple more overheads here, and then we'll definitely go for precision into a Severing Abyss. Oh. And we bit the dust on that one. Well played, Oliver. Well played. We were blocked into the walls there, and so we weren't able to actually dodge all the way away. And that is where Severing Abyss can come in very, very handy, is the fact that you're able to dodge all the way out of the way versus any enemy like that. Okay, and obviously these guys knock down exceptionally well, and you're able to put them down over and over and over, and that is where Frenzied Fire really, really, really helps you, is the fact that you're able to put them down over and over and over, while at the same time being able to manipulate their focus bar over and over and over. Okay, so this guy is focused now, so we will go ahead and hit him with a Frenzied Fire. He's no longer focused. Okay, and Jack knocked him down. Very nice for us. So that is where, you know, coming into these guys can really, really do some really good work. Is that those guys, if, you know, obviously when they're focused right, they take, oh, come on, Jack, would you stop? There we go. They take increased resistance to being hit. They take increased focus, right, or increased balance, so you can't knock them down as easy. You can't push them around. You can't stagger them. They get a whole bunch of resistance there, and they can actually attack through your attacks, and that is really, really bad, because at certain points you may expect them to do certain things, and instead what they'll end up doing is they will just go through your attack. Ouch. Okay. Nice. Good job, Oliver. Okay, let's go for a shock web here, so we can, yep, we can hit him as he comes over. And as you can see, this doesn't really do a whole lot of anything here to Oliver, because of just the fact that we're Jack with his dodgy, because we're not really going for the damage. It's more of the you know, the stagger potential. But if you're going for things like this, you can absolutely tear through Oliver if you're just going for regular attacks and such. So we'll go ahead and put a shock web down. Now that'll last 10 seconds. So as he gets over here, he just runs through it. Okay, we'll go for another Severing Abyss. Very good. Okay. And we'll go for... Oh, I think I missed him with that... Whoops. Okay, I'm focused now. So we're definitely going to heal Jack's dead, since we're in one-shot territory now for Oliver. Okay, and we can go for some staggers. Oh, no. Okay. That is the problem here that we have running, is that we're not really able to withstand really anything of Oliver's attacks. Okay. Nice. Okay. See, there's a little more stagger from precision coming in there. Oh, I missed. That is the problem with Frenzied Fire, is that we don't have a lot of range on it. Okay. And we'll switch to the hammer just to get some of that exceptional stagger here. Okay. And you can see that we really don't have any kind of damage because of the fact that this is Crush, and he resists Crush very, very hard. But we still can stagger him. It just takes some exceptional amount of stagger potential for bosses because they have these really, really, really huge balance gauges that you can't actually see and you can't interact with in any way. But and they don't actually get to a focus state. They just continue building up until they stagger and then it resets. So for bosses, it's a little bit different, but if you can continue to use Frenzied Fire, you can continually reset their stagger potential, and you can always get a stagger faster than you would normally. But balance is definitely one of those more obscure things in the game that you go for, and it definitely is kind of strange how it works between enemies and bosses, because bosses, they don't focus, right? And then enemies, you can knock them down and things, so you get a very clear indication of whether or not their balance is broken or not. And so if you pay attention to that for each enemy, you can kind of get an idea and an understanding of when this guy will knock down, when he will stagger, so on and so forth. And it can really, really help you when you have precision active. Now, precision from just the testing I've done, it's a 25% increase to your balance damage that you do with your weapon. So it's not based on 25% of their focus bar. It's based on the damage that you do, or the balance damage that you do on the enemy. So I'll show you here that we'll do like 3 attacks or something, and we'll see how far this guy's focus bar gets translated, and then we'll do those same 3 attacks. So 1, 2, 3, and you can see there it moved inward, like, I don't know, like a 5th or a 6th of the bar. And then let's see here, 1, 2, 3, and you can see that it's actually further in now than it was previously. So so it's a 25% increase, and you can see that if you take him all the way to focus. And from what I can tell, the only way that you can tell kind of what the balance damage is here on the card is nothing. So that's really unfortunate that there's no way to actually look at the weapon and see exactly what your balance damage is, and how that's increased or decreased or affected for knockdowns and stuff. So that's really, really unfortunate, but I wish that was like a stat somewhere that you could actually look at. Now, the only reason we were going for Jack there was to have his morale boost, to get those extra 50 beautiful points of stamina. And so and so having Queenslayer here, we're at 236, so that gave us 286 for our stamina, which is really, really good to have nearing 300, because for these regular attacks, they can take a hefty amount, between 20 and 40 stamina to wield just one of those attacks. And for the knockdowns, they can go up to an 80 stamina cost requirement for your overhead attack. And so having access to almost 300 allows you 3 and potentially 4 overhead slams in one stamina bar. Whoops, where am I going? So we can see here 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7 for the machete here, and for the giant big hammer boy here. You can see that is considerably more stamina. There's 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So Jack will give us, let's see, 286, let's see, so 220 divided by 4, gotta do this on the fly here, divide by 4, so 55, So 286 divided by 55. So we'll get 6. We'll get an additional overhead slam out of having Jack's morale boost, which can definitely be the determination between life and death at certain points, or knockdown or not. But this is definitely one of the more obscure type of sets here that you would go for. Probably you wouldn't go for, but having the triple gift accelerator here definitely helps to accelerate Severing Abyss or Steadfast Strike, because these are very, very slow startup gifts, and the animation to come out of them is even sped up. So it's really, really important that you get those as fast as you can. And since we have quick mobility here, we do exceptionally well. And the passives here are literally just to get us to a willpower of B and a mind of B plus for bridge and bloodsucking blades and shockweb and gift prowess and impact wave and so on and so, or not impact wave. I think it's yeah, shockweb, gift prowess, bridge to glory, and yeah, bloodsucking blades. So these 4 gifts here all rely on these 2 being in this way, and then impact wave relies on vitality of B, which comes from our willpower and vitality up there. So basically the entire build is relying on these 2 gifts to make all of this happen at one shot here out the gate. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of more obscure balance in investigation here, and we'll be going through more of these bizarre things as we move into 47 stars, and we'll be playing to the obscure and bizarre. So we'll see you all guys in the next one.